All right, so week 2 with Lenovo's ThinkSystem ST50 V2. On the first week, we did the unboxing. This week is all about going over some of the ports and features, as well as opening up the computer to take a closer look at some of the computer parts and also hook up a monitor, keyboard, and Ethernet and all that other good stuff to boot it up to see what type of operating system it has. My guess, it has a Windows Server. If it does, I'm going to wipe it clean and probably install VMware vSphere on this machine. So let's go over some of the ports. So on the front panel, you have the following. You have your power button. You have one microphone port, a headphone port. You have one Type-C port. You have two 3.2 USB Gen 1 ports. You have two additional 3.2 USB ports, but generation 2. Right here in the lower left-hand side, inside the computer, you have a mono amplifier speaker. All right, so I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to turn it around and let's take a look at the back. All right, so this is the back side on Lenovo's ThinkSystem ST50 V2 server. This is actually a server, super light. I mean, this is like really light. Oh my God. All right. So at the top right here, we have a audio line out port. We have two display ports. We have a serial port, which is really rare. This is the type of port that you will use to console into network switches. You have four 3.2 USB ports, generation 1. You have your RJ45. This server is actually housing an NVIDIA Quadro T1000 graphics card. And it also has a network interface card right here with four RJ45 ports. I'm guessing they are 1 gig. Cool. And then you have your power supply, which is 300 watts. All right, to remove the side panel right here, you have one screw here. You have another one right here. I'm going to like unscrew them. There we go. Let's take the one from the top. All right, awesome. Let's put this guy right there. Got like a nice little latch right here. I can actually pull it with one finger. Just pull it towards you. Boom. Let's open it up. Awesome. All right. So let's take a closer look. Look at that T1000 graphics card right there. From memory, it looks like we got all four DIMM slots, filled to capacity. Taking a closer look, it's 32 gigs each stick. Wow, that's pretty good. 64, that's 128 gigs of memory. That's pretty awesome. It looks like this guy over here. Oh, this is pretty cool. This, you can actually insert a M.2 solid state drive. It actually has a SATA hard drive. Oof, that's no bueno. It has two fans. This is the front fan. This is the speaker right here. The CPU has its own fan. Definitely want to know the measurement. So I got my tape measure right here. And this guy right here is about, this guy looks like, let's see, 3.2, right? Looks like 3.2 inches. All right. And the one on the CPU fan, let's take a closer look. Let's see. The one in the CPU fan, if you guys look, it looks like it's probably maybe 4 inches. The heat sink for the CPU, pretty nice, pretty neat. Micro kind of mini motherboard. You have additional SATA ports for, but like where in the hell can you actually insert 4 more hard drives in here? Trying to figure out where I can insert more SATA drives because you have 3 more. So my guess, you could probably like stack up the cradles to have 3 more right here on top. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to close this guy up and we're going to hook up the power, hook up a monitor, and power it up. All right, so let's close this guy up so we could actually hook up a keyboard, mouse, and monitor and power it on. We're just going to insert these screws to lock it up. It's 1, And the other one over here. Awesome, we're done. So we got our monitor. We have our keyboard over there, mouse, power cable. I'm going to basically insert the keyboard and mouse, power cable, that in there. Let's give it some power. And also power the monitor. Now, the monitor that I have is actually a display. I can actually use one of the native displays, but I want to use the graphics card. And because I don't have like a native mini display monitor, I'm going to use an adapter, a mini display to display. So we're going to insert it here. So, and then hook it up here. All right, so everything is hooked up. Power button is located right here on top, so I'm definitely going to press it. Let's boot it up. Monitor is already turned on. Let's see what happens. Like I said, my guess is it has Windows Server. I'm probably going to wipe it clean and then reinstall a new operating system, probably VMware vSphere. Okay, awesome. It's checking for media right now. So if it's checking for media, there's a good chance there's no operating system on this. If there's no operating system, that is great. I am going to get a flash drive and hook it up here and then boot into the flash drive and then wipe clean the hard drive. Only has one hard drive. So that hard drive will be, where I'm going to house the operating system. All right. So I was waiting forever and it never changed. It was just constantly checking for media. So I decided to reboot the machine. I basically did a Control-Alt-Delete, rebooted, and I pressed F2 to get into Lenovo's BIOS setup utility. And when I went inside startup, I basically had no startup. There was no startup. So let's hit enter here. Again, I only have a SATA hard drive on this machine because that's what we saw when we opened this guy up. So let's hit enter here. Once I select that boot device, it is set to disabled. So first SATA device is disabled. I don't know why that's disabled. So I'm going to hit enter. It does pick that hard drive that's in there, which is good. SATA 1. Hit enter. Awesome. Let's do a F10. Save configuration and reset. Yes. And let's see what happens. All right, so this basically tells me that we don't have an operating system on the machine, which is okay, right? Did a Control-Alt-Delete to reboot. Let's press F2 again. And I just want to make sure that the boot order is set to the SATA hard drive. Let's do it one more time. Come on, F1. I think it's F1, right? Come on, F1. There's no operating system on the hard drive. It is okay. We will install an operating system on week 3 with this machine. So let's escape. Let's go to startup. All right, boom. So, all right, kind of strange that the boot order didn't have a boot device assigned to it, but it is okay. It just seems that the hard drive is empty and we are going to take advantage of it next week when we install an operating system on it. All right. So I'll catch you guys on that week. What's going on, guys? Week 3 with the ST50V2 Think System machine. So week 3, it's all about installing the operating system because on week 2, when we went over some of the ports and features and we booted this guy up, I saw there was no operating system. So I'm going to install a operating system. So I actually have Rufus up and running. I got my flash drive. I'm going to insert my flash drive. The game plan is to install VMware ESXi version 8, and that's what we're going to get going. So right now, Rufus saw the flash drive. It is 64 gigs. I am going to click on select, and I'm going to select my VMware ISO file. So we are able to, create our bootable flash drive. So let me locate my project. This is the project right here. This is the ISO. Awesome. I'm going to leave everything as the default. We are going to click on start. It's going to give me a warning that everything is going to be wiped clean, and hit OK. It's going to delete, reformat it, and start doing its thing. And hopefully we should have the flash drive ready to insert into our ST50V2 to boot into and install our operating system. All right, so the bootable flash drive is completed. We are going to insert it into the ST50V2. Bam, we're going to insert it on the front. So far, what I have is a Type-C dongle with a Ethernet port connected to this nice little hub. And the black cable is for my laptop. The yellow cable, if we trace it, it is going into the back of the ST50 right here. I'm going to create a nice little private network. We're going to power this guy on. I think it's either F1 or F12 that I'm able to press. I'm going to press both of them at the same time. See if I could get into the setup system. I always forget which one is that. I feel like it's F2. F2 is like for Dell, right? Let's see what happens. Come on. There we go. Awesome. I'm going to the devices tab. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. And I think USB startup. There we go. Startup. First boot device is the SATA drive. We're going to change the boot order. And it's all network. Trying to find, there it goes, SanDisk, which is the brand of the flash drive, SanDisk. And that's what we want. So I'm going to hit enter. Actually, not enter. I think minus on the keyboard. SanDisk is right there. So I'm just changing the boot order right now. There it goes. Minus. Let's go to the top. Minus again. To the top. Minus. Pushing all these guys down. Minus again. To the top. Minus. Minus. And yes. So now I moved everything down and I made our SanDisk number 1 to boot into. All right, so let's press F10 on the keyboard. I want to hit yes on that. Exit. It should boot into the flash drive. Let's see what happens. Awesome. It is booting into the flash drive. All right, so we're ready to do the installation. So I'm going to hit enter on the keyboard. F11, definitely F11 to accept and continue. It is scanning for available devices. I did have an available flash drive to install the operating system into an additional flash drive and then just take all the space that the SATA has. So I feel like I could probably, damn, the SATA is 8 terabytes. Sheesh, that's a lot. I feel I could take the SanDisk Ultra and install the operating system there. So let's see if we can do that. Let's hit enter. It's gathering the information. Right, it's gathering the information. You have selected a disk that contains at least one partition with existing data. Do you want to continue? And if you continue, the selected disk will be overwritten. Let's hit OK. Why not? Select the disk to store the ASI. All right, so I can't do that. So we're going to hit enter. Hit enter. Hit enter. I got to give a root password. Super simple. It is going to be capital P at 55W. Boom. And do it again to confirm it. So it's basically password. Hit enter. Warning, it is going to, press F11, and the installation is going to start. So let's see what happens. All right, so the installation is completed. It wants me to remove the flash drive. So I'm just going to remove it, and we're going to hit enter, rebooting the server. Once it reboots, we should be able to get in, assign a IP address. Again, I'm making it private. So, and I got to also configure this guy as well. So while this reboots, let's go in here, and I'm going to right click on the little globe. Let's open up Internet and Network Settings. I'm going to go inside Ethernet. I'm going to click on Change Adapter Options, and I'm going to locate my USB dongle right here. We're going to right click on that. I'm going to go to Properties. I'm going to double click on the IPv4, and I'm going to change the IP address. Now, the IP address that I'm going to use 10.10.10 and 10. And for this guy right here, I'm going to do 10.10.10.20. The subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.0. We're going to click OK here, OK here. Over here, it's trying to Pixie boot, so let's hit escape. Still trying to get into Pixie. I don't know why it's keep on doing that. Let's Control Alt Delete. Let's I always forget which one is it. So that's why I press F1. I think it's F1. Is it F1? I always forget. Yeah, F1. Hit OK here. Let's go into startup. Boot order. Let's change it to boot order. Let's press F10. Let's see what happens. Still trying to Pixie boot over IPv6. Let's escape that. Let's go into the boot. All right, so it's trying to Pixie boot into that, but I don't want it to Pixie boot. Right now, I'm excluding all these because for some reason, it's trying to Pixie boot all these Pixie boots, all these. This is weird. This is weird, really weird. I have to like exclude all this stuff. F10. See what happens. So I excluded all the network cards because it's constantly trying to Pixie boot. Let's see what happens. All right, so now it's loading. That's good. Okay, this is a good sign. I had to exclude and disable all the Pixie booting. And let's see what happens. Okay, so it's up and running. We are going to do F2 on the keyboard. We're going to hit enter. We're going to enter our password. Boom, awesome. We are going to set up our network stuff. So we are going to get into, it actually gave it a 169.254. We don't want that, so we're going to hit enter here. We're going to go into the IPv4 configuration, and we're going to use a static. Oops, sorry. Go back in there, hit spacebar. And again, my laptop is 10.10.10.10. We're going to make this one 20. So let's configure that. Number lock 10.10.10.20. And the subnet is going to be 255.255.255.0. No default gateway. We're going to hit enter for OK. We're going to click on escape. We're definitely going to restart the management network. So we're going to hit Y on the keyboard to start that. Should take us back here. That's the IP address. Let's do an escape again. And there goes our static. If everything goes well, I'm able to take this IP address and enter it on the laptop, which we are going to do right now. All right, so let's open up a browser. And boom. Awesome. Let's go to 10.10.10.10. I'm not even typing. Let's try that again. Awesome. And let's hit enter. I should add HTTPS at the very beginning. Whack, whack, hit enter. This is a good sign. Let's click advance, proceed to that IP address. Bingo. How awesome is that? We're going to enter root for the username. Spelled root wrong. OOT. And let's enter our password. It's loading in and beautiful. I don't want to join the customer experience improvement program, so click OK. Memory right now is 128 gigs. Oof, that is crazy. It has 6 CPUs, 12 logical processors, an Intel Xeon E2386G processor with a clock speed of 3.50 gigahertz. Hopefully you guys are able to see all that. If not, you understand what I'm saying. If I go to storage, I don't see anything here, but if I click on new data store, let's create a new VMBS data store. Click next here. There goes our 8 terabyte. Let's give it a name. I'm going to call it BTNHD data store. And let's click next. Yep, I want that partition type. So click next there, finish, and click yes. It's going to wipe it clean. It's doing this thing over here in the tasks. And we should see our new data store. Look at that. Beautiful. It's 8 terabytes. I'll go to site virtual machines. Let's create a virtual machine. Let's just create a really dummy one. Let's give it a name, test. Operating system is going to be Windows. Let's make it Windows 11. Actually, shit, look at that. Pardon my fridge. It has Windows 12. What? Let's click next there. We're going to pick our new data store. So we're going to pick next here. Customization, 8 gigs, 96. We're going to leave everything as default. And we're going to click next and finish. And we have our first virtual machine. There's nothing in it. I don't have an ISO. But if we power it on, should power on. Nothing's going to happen. You know, we don't have anything mounted to boot into to install an operating system. But so it looks pretty good.